It feels like it was like 1 year ago, but no, it was 2 months ago that we were heavily reporting on these girls in Dundee, Scotland, who were, well, trying to defend themselves against the unthinkable. And one of them, Lola Moir, became a symbol of defending yourself as a girl in the UK with that knife and a hatchet and everything that happened. That she was detained and nobody really knows what happened to her in the end. And we had, of course, so many stuff going on since then, and they were pretty much forgotten except for me. I actually reached out to Dundee police with a Freedom of Information request, and I got an answer. And I'm gonna read to you the answer that I got on this case. This was the first answer. This say that this was my original request back in September 23rd. All right, I did the request, so I got the reply. Thank you for your email. This mailbox is for Freedom of Information requests only. If your email is a FOI request, please accept this email as confirmation that it was received. And it was okay, nice. Then I received the answer, okay, on October 15. By the way, this is like a bit after I had to reach out again to try to, let's say, debate this reply because I didn't like it. But since I haven't had any more answers or replies from them, I guess that, at least on my end, they don't want to have anything to do with the body language guy. But here it goes. This is their reply to yours truly. Freedom of Information response. Your recent request for information is replicated below together with our response. This is what I wrote. I'd like to make a Freedom of Information request about the Dundee case of the sisters Lola and Ruby Moir, being Lola, the girl arrested for carrying a knife and a hatchet that made international news. I'd like to know all the steps and fees required to access all the information you have compiled about the case. It's obvious. I mean, sometimes you have to pay for fees. Let me know what is necessary and I will figure it out to get this done. And this was their reply. A 12-year-old girl has been charged with being in possession of offensive weapons. She will be referred to the relevant authorities and our inquiries are ongoing. In relation to your requests, go F yourself. I'm paraphrasing here. They didn't say go F yourself. They said, I can confirm the information sought is held by Police Scotland, but I am refusing to provide it in terms of Section 16.1 of the Act on the basis that the exception set out at Section 38.1b of the Act applies. Personal data. Personal data is defined in Article 4 of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR of the I thought that GDPR was the European Union, or whatever. Information relating to an identified or identifiable natural person. An identifiable natural person is one who can be identified directly or indirectly, in particular by reference to an identifier such as a name, identification number, location, data, and online. I told her, I replied to them, can't you, I don't know, issue some kind of redacted information with all the names of the girls just cover so we know what happened, what actually happened with this. And you can also redact the name of the perpetrator or whoever is going to be charged with this. If there's no response. No response. I am not interested in the exact names. I'm interested in what happened to the girls because nobody knows. It seems that nobody cares anymore. Section of the Act provides that personal data is exempt from disclosure where disclosure would contravene any of the data, blah, 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 blah. Personal data shall be processed lawfully, fairly, and in a transparent manner in relation to the data subject. Okay, but we should be able to know what happened with this. This should be a right. Not only, I am not in Scotland, and by the way, I am not a Scottish subject or citizen, but I think that anybody should be able to request this, and they have to just, maybe they could have a system that covers the relevant names. Maybe they have this thing called, I don't know, they could write some kind of code. Maybe they can ask ChatGPT to write a code that automatically covers people's names so you can release the information about the case, but without releasing the names, right? Or you can use, I don't know, a felt tip marker, because I'm sure that I am not the only one requested this information. I'm pretty sure of that. Processing is necessary for the purposes of the legitimate interest pursued by the controller by a third party, except where such interests are overridden by the interests or fundamental rights and freedoms of the data subject, which require protection of personal data, in particular where the data subject is a child. And I told them as well, okay, you are not going to release information about the child, but I know that the suspect is not a child or a minor. So why don't you release the information regarding that guy or whatever is their investigation? Or at least what are they doing about that? What are they doing about this case? Nothing. Radio silence. Radio silence. Whilst I accept that you may have a legitimate interest with regards to the disclosure of this information, as so many people have, I do not agree that disclosure could be considered necessary in the circumstances, all right? Notwithstanding, I am further on the view that your interests are overridden by the interests of fundamental rights and freedom of the data subject. On that basis, it is considered that disclosure of the information sought would be unlawful. The body language guy is requesting for something unlawful. That is nothing new. That is nothing new. If you require any further assistance, please contact us quoting the reference above. You can request a review of the response. Again, requested a review, whatever. This seems that it's not going anywhere, and they are keeping this under wraps. And I'm pretty sure, again, I was mentioning that in another video, that there would be many outlets like, I don't know, Daily Mail, New York Post, that in this kind of cases, they would want to know what happened with this. As in, what happened? Did they just disappear out of thin air? Their family, the mother? As in, we have absolutely zero information about this? How does that happen in 2025? Absolutely escapes my comprehension. Having said that, we got this news on a couple days ago. Romanian grooming gang jailed for sexually assaulting and sexually abusing 10 women in flats across Dundee, Scotland. All right, well, at least that is something. That is something. I could say that, well, we are moving in the right direction. As they say, never stop chimping, never stop complaining. Yeah, you know that the royal family is about them never complain, but we need to complain. We need to. This is a different complaining. If you know what I mean, if you catch my drift, we need to complain. We have to keep knocking doors. We need to keep picking up the phones and calling them and emailing them and hey, we want action to be taken. We want justice to actually protect women and girls, because that is not happening in the UK at this moment, no matter what the government tells you. No, they are lying. They are lying. They are the most vulnerable and they should be protected. And well, that's what we should dedicate our platforms to. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. Much love and bliss.